Morristown Market Report. I'm Amy Schrader with Remax Real Estate 10.
And I'm Kim Swan with Union Home Mortgage.
And our special guest today is Tristan, and he is the owner operator of Hot and Cold Air Company. Did I get that right?
Yes.
All right, good
Yes.
deal. Have yourself a little note here. All right, so Tristan, tell us a little bit about your company.
First of all, thanks for having me in. Really appreciate the
Oh,
opportunity.
you're very welcome.
And like I said, we see your face everywhere. So anybody that's looking, if you haven't seen Amy's face around town, you should, because obviously she's doing some good stuff. But quite frankly, I own Hot and Cold Air Company. It goes both ways. Basically, we are not only a hot and cold air, we're not only a heating and air company, we're trying to be your heating and air company. So a little bit of background on me. I own the company. I've been in the industry for 10 years. I come from the West Coast. I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for it. I have family here, though, so I feel like I should get a little bit of a slide on that. But I come from the crazy world of people are very picky. We understand being professional, doing professional work, having professional trucks, answering phones, and being able to do professional work, which it's one of those things we take pride in. I can tell you honestly, straight off the bat, we are not going to be the cheapest company you call for service or replacements, but we are going to provide you the best product and give you the best customer experience. Because let's be honest, when you call a heating and air company out, we're going to service the most expensive quote unquote appliance in your house.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not a cheap appliance to service. And we want people to understand that when you call us, you're normally not happy when you have to call us because, like you were saying, it always breaks on the hottest day of the year, the most inconvenient time, a party. So our goal is to take that bad experience and that bad issue you're having. How can we make it beyond what you thought it would be? We don't just want to be the company you call and comes in and track mud all through your house. I mean, we have floor savers, shoe covers, as you call it, that we put on. We try and really go the extra mile to make sure everything's done properly. We do a lot of training with the large manufacturers that we have to keep up on to keep our credentials and certificates. So right now, with starting my own company out here, we have been in business just over a year. We are trying to get those certificates back that I was a part of as a previous company that I was with. So those certificates that I feel like a lot of other companies may not have, factory authorized. Everybody knows the name Carrier. It's a very large company. I don't know what kind of car you drive, but Hondas, Toyotas, we like to install that equipment for the sole fact that it's reliable. And also, if you buy a car from a manufacturer that there's no dealership around, where are you going to get the parts?
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be difficult. So those relationships with putting in that equipment and repairing that equipment, having good relationships with our distributors makes it easier on the customer, because if say you call somebody else out and they don't have a great relationship with them, well, we may be able to call up my accounts manager and go, hey, I know that part's back ordered. I need you to get me on it. I need you to somehow get me at the top of that list. So having that relationship, doing business with them really, really, it doesn't just help us, it helps all down the line. And the better relationship we have, the more we can focus on customers versus constantly hounding them for parts, replacements. Oh, this unit came in damaged. They'll overnight us another one. So we really are trying to become your premier heating and air company in the area, not only for residential, but for commercial as well. I'm not sure how big you're into the commercial market, but we recently had an issue where a customer purchased a commercial building. They didn't have the heating and air inspected. About $22,000 it cost them to have us come out and replace that unit. It's just one of those things where we tell everybody, whether it's residential or commercial, have a company, if it's not us, a company like us, come out and actually inspect it. Home inspectors are great for other things. They know a lot more about termites and things like that I'm not an expert in. We named the company Hot and Cold Air Co. because we want to be the expert in hot and cold air. We're not going to start a plumbing company. We're not starting an electrical company. We're not trying to be a home service company. We're trying to be the best in one thing, and that's heating and air. If you go to a doctor for your knee, he probably specializes in joints and knees.
Yeah.
He doesn't do good in lip implants or anything like that. So that's kind of the goal that we're looking at going is, hey, we're going to be really good at one thing. I have a team that's really good at one thing, and that's what we do.
Well, that's good. And you made a comment about answering the phone, and I know here in East Tennessee that seems to be the biggest complaint we get from not just a heating and air company, but any kind of help you're trying to get out to your house, is you can't get them to answer the phone. They make appointments and they don't show up, or they never actually get back to you with an estimate for the work and stuff.
Yeah, so our big thing is I have an estimate after this I have to go to. They're all of our estimates, we give a 2-hour window. So the estimate I'm going to after this has a 3 to 5 o'clock window. Whether it's a 3 to 5 o'clock window that we're going to be there, we still, whether it's a service call, whether it's an installation that's scheduled for the installers to go out and install, we're going to let you know ahead of time. Hey, they're an hour out. Or if you ask for a 30-minute heads up, we'll let you know, hey, we're 30 minutes out. So that way there's a lot of communication that goes back and forth. You understand in the real estate market that communication's key. I'm married, so I understand communication's key in a relationship. I've caught on to that one very quickly.
There you go.
And I think that all translates over. It makes it easier to do business with someone. It makes it feel more like a personal connection. And instead of just sending emails back and forth, you actually maybe jump on a Zoom call with them, or you go out to their house. It's one of those things. People are inviting us into their homes, into their businesses. Some of them giving us the keys to their businesses after hours to come and do work so we don't disturb things. You want to trust the person that you're doing that with and the team they're bringing in. So not only are you trusting me, but you're trusting my team that I'm in charge of that. Not only am I going to take care of your stuff, but our goal is, if your basement's dirty, one of those things, we're going to try and sweep up more than what was there when we first got there. We're always trying to leave things better than when we got there. It's really big on us. We're really, really, really also trying to become a large company. It's one of those things where that's been my goal with this business is we can't, being new, it's hard for us to service everybody. We're quickly growing. The phone's quickly ringing a lot more.
Well, that's great.
Which is great, but it comes with growing pains.
It does.
Like I tell everybody, our goal is to be able to be your house within 1 to 2 days maximum. As you grow, that's difficult to keep up with. People start falling behind, start missing on estimates, and our goal is to keep on top of that as much as we can. So right now, I'm in the field. I'll help guys with installations and service, but it's really big on us as we grow, bringing on the best talent. That's been a big thing for me. Is I'm very particular on who does work for me. It's not only do you have to be good. If you're not good, we're going to make you go from good to great, because that's the type of work I'd want in my house, my business, and it's the same thing. I don't want to ever lose sleep at night. I know a lot of business owners say, I don't sleep well at night. I want to be able to sleep great at night and tell people that, because if I'm not sleeping good at night, something's not going right with the business, with the jobs. And obviously word of mouth is very big. Word of mouth is very big. I get one of those, people can run ads all day long. I could spend $1 million a year in ads. But realistically, if you're happy with us, you're going to tell her. You're going to tell the next person. And that, it's free advertising. If we can keep advertising costs down, the end price drops. So that's the thing for us is word of mouth, be good to the people, be good to your neighbor, and provide premium products.
So how many people do you have?
Right now, I have a couple part-time installers. Right now, I'm running all the estimates for sales and the service side of the business. Right now, I have a couple installers that will help on installations. We're actually looking at, hopefully, the goal for the end of the year is to have 2 full-time crews doing installations. I'll still handle service and sales then. Right now, trying to find a lead installer that I believe has been brought up in the industry. It's hard to find. There's a lot of people that have experience, but trying to find someone that's been taught the right ways, not skipping corners.
Because it's hard to retrain somebody.
It's really hard to retrain someone. So it's really, I'm very particular on it, and I will slow the growth of the business to find that person. And then as we grow, more people and more people. So it's been difficult to find those key people. We're also looking to bring in people from around the area. We're not afraid to bring someone in if we know someone's better over in Knoxville. I'm not afraid to pull them over this way or Tri-Cities, because Sarah's expanding. Let's be honest, the Lakeway area is anywhere you drive. I can't drive anywhere any day without seeing expansion. Residential, commercial, restaurants. I think there's a Publix that's supposed to be going in. So that's big. If they're bringing a Publix in, that's a pretty big brand they're bringing in. So it's one of those things where we see the growth, and our goal is to keep up with that. That's going to come with work. There's going to need to be any trade. Realtors, things are going to have to be bought and sold. People are going to move. So we see the growth in it. It's coming, and our goal is let's get ahead of it. Let's get those people put in place. As the work comes to us, we'll be able to then better distribute it, get to your house, hopefully the day of or the day after when it breaks, before that party happens. Because let's be honest, if you're hosting a 4th of July party and everybody's hot, the only thing you want hot is the hot dogs. Let's be honest.
That's right.
The food that's hot.
And the cold beer.
Oh yes.
So, do you all have like a Facebook page?
We do.
Or
We have a
website?
Facebook page, website. We're trying to be pretty much everywhere. So the goal is, if you go to our Facebook page, Hot and Cold Airco, We have a pretty distinct name, very simple logo, black background. We try and keep things very simple, very clean. That represents the work that we do. The other big thing about us is you'll see that we don't advertise we're licensed and insured. We have a license number. You can cross-reference it to the state. If you want to ask us for our insurance or our workers' comp, that's all stuff that I feel like a lot of customers don't understand. They have the right to ask their contractor across any trade. To me, we've gotten estimates from other people, and I've asked them for that. They've looked at me funny, and I went, if you run an operational business, these are things you have to have in place, and they never call back. And it makes it really rough. And it's one
Well,
of
to
those
me,
things.
when I see people advertising their license and insurance, well, I would expect that
It's
if
like
you're
with the
in
doctor.
the business.
The doctor's not advertising he's licensed. You expect him to be licensed.
Just like with a realtor. I mean, we're expected to be licensed, and we have to have E&O insurance.
Oh,
so,
yes. Yeah, so
yeah.
it's one of those things for us that we take a lot of pride in everything we do. There's a lot of back end to a business that I feel that a lot of people skimp on, and that's where things can get backlogged with estimates. They don't answer the phone. Text messages. We're able to receive text messages. So email, text, Facebook. Our goal is to answer back the same day and hopefully get something scheduled. And some people just ask us simple questions where, hey, what's the best kind of filter to put in? What should I do with that? And we're more than happy to just, hey, this is what we recommend. Just try and help people out. We understand we're not going to be the contractor for everyone. We totally understand that. As much as I wish I could be everybody's contractor and fix everybody's heating and air, it's just not going to happen. So the big thing for us is educate the customers, residential and commercial, so that way whoever they use, they're able to get good service and they're not getting screwed. That is our big thing, is whether it's us or somebody else, at the end of the day, I can sleep good at night knowing somebody didn't get screwed because of something we posted online, we advertised, we discussed right here. It's the little things that people are going to remember. The benefits of, hey, that company said this. I don't live in their area, but we sold a house there and they told us this when we sold the house to ask about this over here.
Right.
They saved themselves a big headache and maybe a lot of money. So that's the big thing. I don't know what kind of car you drive, but when you buy a car, cars come with a warranty when you buy them brand new. So
Which is why I never
to maintain that warranty, you have to service it.
Yep.
Per that manufacturer. We see a lot of people that do not get their homes and businesses serviced, and the contractors that come in and install the equipment don't advise the customer of that, which makes it really difficult where if we come in and they say, oh, hey, the contractor says here we have a 10-year parts warranty. When I go cross-reference it, the manufacturer asks me, hey, we need all the documentation of this system being serviced. It's not there. And unfortunately, we have to tell the customers, hey, unfortunately, things, and they just say, oh, we weren't told that. I'm sorry you weren't told that. These systems are expensive like a car. You have to service them. So the biggest thing on us is everybody pushes maintenances. At the end of the day, we don't make any money on the maintenance. We really don't. What it's priced at for what we have to pay a truck, gas, insurance, and a technician to go out and service that system, it covers the cost. The big thing is maintaining those warranties for people and making sure they don't break down, because there's a lot of times where we come out and we'll see a drain line that's almost completely clogged up, and you never know that it would be clogged. We've had customers that go, oh, I haven't had it serviced in 15 years, and I'm going, I wouldn't drive my car over 6 months without getting it serviced because I drive so much. So it's one of those things that we tell people, it's worth its weight in gold. Maintain them, service them, have a reputable company come out, whether it's us or someone else in another area. I'm sure you guys get people all over that may be shopping for realtors in the area, and if they come across this video or anything, hopefully they see that, hey, you're talking to good people in the area and you're doing good things, and they may want to use you guys. It's very important in the area. It's the word of mouth. That's
Exactly.
Our big thing. It's educate and inform the customers on how to make the best decisions, because let's be honest, I don't know anything about buying a house. I don't know that process. So you find someone that is best in that and someone you trust. It's the same thing we're trying to do with the industry. You may not know how to fix it or what to do. You're going to call the experts in it. So that is our big goal, is becoming the experts for you, for your friends, for your family, with someone you can trust.
Okay, good deal.
Very good.
All right, Tristan, is there anything else about your business that you want to share with our viewers?
Man, I could sit here for a long time. I eat, sleep, and breathe this industry. The biggest thing that I can say is make sure if you choose us, we can guarantee you satisfaction. I'm not sure about other companies, but our big goal is keeping people happy. whether it's your home, whether it's your business. We want people happy at the end of the day. I'm happy when I see people happy. That's our biggest thing, is we want to provide the best service to make our customers happy, because we understand it's not a fun situation. You have to have a heating and air company come out. But that's pretty much,
you gotta have it.
you gotta have it. It's one of those things. You gotta have tires on the car to drive. You can't just have the wheels.
Yeah.
So it's important to us on growing the business and growing it right. It's our big thing. We want to do things right. We want to make people happy, because we understand what can happen if steps are skipped. You may pay a little less now. You're going to pay for it in the long run, unfortunately. I've seen it. I mean, 10 years in the industry, I've seen it happen so many times. And unfortunately, I've seen it happen with some newer real estate agents that aren't so versed in explaining that, hey, we should get maybe the system checked. And they sell the house, the buyers are super happy, and then they go to flip the air conditioning on, and it doesn't work. And unfortunately, the system's too old for us to get parts, and it's not cheap. And then we run into issues where now they have a mortgage out. It's hard for us to get them financing, because we offer financing. So it's hard for us in that situation of, how can I make this customer happy in this situation and work around those things. So we really try and we try and find options for everyone. We really try and find options, and it's one of those things where our goal is to make people happy. That's the end of the day goal, is to make people happy.
All right, good deal. Well, thank you again, Tristan, for being here with us.
Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate the opportunity to get on
will
here.
definitely link to your Facebook page in the comments after our live video is over.
Perfect.
So, thanks for coming.
Thank you very much.
Nice to meet you.
Have a great rest of your day. Thanks.
All
guys.
right, thank you. So, Kim, you and I were talking before the video started about the volatility we have seen the past week.
Yeah, we say they came down like a stairs and went up like the elevator. So
Ain't that the truth? Yeah. So where are we at right now?
Well, this morning we were back to mid upper sixes on conventional and almost mid sixes on government as well. Low still 6.3, 6.4 again, depends on credit score and all those things. But yeah, so definitely up. I mean, I think on Monday I quoted like on FHA I quoted like some 5.99s. So Monday morning early for Friday.
Before those new rates came out.
Before.
So for people who don't understand maybe what is causing the volatility, traditionally, if the stock market tanks, and I know everybody was in an uproar last week over the stock market performance, when the stock market is not doing well, usually people are investing their money in the mortgage bonds. And the more mortgage bonds that are sold, the better the interest rates are, correct?
Correct.
So when the stock market started tanking, interest rates improved dramatically. Then there was like a fake rumor I heard, it was a fake rumor, that, he was going to pause these tariffs. And so we saw a rebound in the stock market, and things kind of, once it came out that it was a fake rumor, they've just kind of like leveled out. Everything's kind of at a standstill, but now we've seen the rates just shoot back up as a result of that. So, for some people that in that 5-day time period found a house and got the rate locked in, it was a very advantageous time for them.
Absolutely. Yeah. We had a few that did,
And that's why it's so important that you're pre-approved before you go out looking for a house. Because when the rates drop and you get word of that, you can immediately go out and be looking at houses that are on the market, and you can get under contract in 5 days and you could lock in.
Absolutely.
But if you've not even started that process, you may not get in before something changes, is what I'm trying to say. So
THDA raised their rate today too. So they dropped it to 6.3 and it went back up to 6.5 today. So not a big jump, but still
a
up.
jump.
Still up.
All right, so we finished up March a week or so ago, and for March of 2025, we saw a bunch of new homes come on the market here in Hamlin County. We had 73 new homes come on the market. One of those canceled or pulled off the market for whatever reason. 3 of them have already closed, and 22 are under contract. We've had a total of 60 homes go under contract in March, and we had 48 homes that sold. Average sales price was around $326,000. with 58 days on the market, and the median sales price was around 3075. Those homes had 42 days on the market. So how does that stack up to last year's March? Well, we sold 59 homes last year during the month of March. Average sales price was 259,200, and those homes had about 86 days on the market. So we were down as far as number of units sold, but the average sales price was quite a bit higher than it was last March. Now, that's just for a 1 month time period. So don't go thinking, oh my gosh, sales prices have jumped. That was 1 month. So you may have had a month where you had a lot of lower priced homes that sold last year, and we had, some higher priced home sales this year. And then days on the market did go down as well. So spring is the time when buyers come out, and people who are looking to get their home sold typically are going to be listing in the next 4 to 6 weeks. So if you're looking to sell your home, feel free to reach out. I'd love to work with you. And if you're looking to purchase a home, definitely give Kim a call and get pre-approved. Anything else?
With the volatility we've had, we're still better than we were rate-wise,
A year ago.
Yeah. So, I mean, and there's always still that, hey, if you, we always say, if you're paying rent, your rate's 100% because you're not building any equity in paying rent. And now with some rent prices, it's hard to save. Saying, hey, I'm going to keep renting and save money so I can buy a house. Well, now rents are over I'm seeing easily over $1,000 a month for rent. And
yeah, I saw, and this has been probably 3 or 4 weeks ago, but I saw an ad from an apartment complex here in town, and they had a 1-bedroom studio apartment that's like 650 square feet, if that. And it was, I want to say $1,250 a month. And I thought, you've got to be out of your mind. I don't understand how people can afford that. No. I really don't. No. I mean, I own probably a 2,400 square foot home, and I bought in 2021, and my mortgage payment with taxes, insurance, and all that good stuff is only like $1,100 a month. So I don't understand how people are paying these rent prices.
No, it's tough.
It's tough. Crazy.
It is
crazy.
Tough. So, but they still have the option, purchase now, refi later, now your zero down options don't offer this, but some conventional products now we're seeing some more activity in the ARMs, the ARMs, which is the adjustable rate mortgages. I think somebody today said the 7-1 ARM was in the 5s, and we've always, I know there's studies that say most people keep their mortgage or stay in their house 7 years or less, so.
That number's actually growing now though, because I think it's up to like 11 years.
Is it really?
But, I mean, adjustable rate mortgages got a bad name, got a bad rap back in the late 2000s when the subprime market crashed and, the real estate market changed. But, an ARM is not a recommended mortgage product for someone who's a first-time home buyer.
Right.
But if you're an investor, if you are a repeat buyer, then getting an ARM sometimes is going to work out well for you, because at some point in that 7-year time period, rates are probably going to be at a point where you can say, okay, it makes sense for me to go and finance into a fixed rate product. And if they don't, then you just refinance into a new ARM at the end of your term. So adjustable rate mortgages got a bad rap, but they can actually be a very valuable tool, especially if you're a move-up buyer or a downsizing buyer in this market.
Right, absolutely. Well, and then you have situations where someone might be employed and they know, hey, in 5 years I'm going to retire, and when I retire I'm going to move to be closer to my grandkids. Things like that, then the 7-year ARM, Plus, back when we had those problems, some of those subprime ARMs didn't have the caps. So that affected some of that as well. Whereas when we talk about a 7-1 ARM, it basically, that just means they're limited on how much they can go up, So.
Right. And the biggest problem with subprime ARMs were that we were giving mortgages to people who had never paid any bills on time. And I say we because I was doing mortgages back then too. So we had people who with a 580 credit score could get 100% financing. And they were getting put on 228 ARMs, and sometimes those 228 ARMs had a 3-year prepayment penalty. And the problem then was that they just weren't gaining enough equity and they weren't paying their bills on time to be able to refinance. So
Yeah.
it's a different type of arm than what those mortgages
Absolutely.
were that caused so much grief for so many people.
Absolutely.
So,
Yes.
all right, if you have a local business or a nonprofit that you would like to have featured on our Facebook Live, please send us a message or leave a comment. We'd love to get you scheduled for later this spring. And anything else on the mortgage you?
I think that's it.
All right.
Hooray for lower rates.
We'll see you next week.